Hello, and welcome to another episode of Our Kinky Kindles, the podcast where smut is better with friends.
Yes, indeedy do it is.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, y'all. Here on a Sunday morning.
A Sunday morning, fresh from brunch.
Hell yeah. We are sangria'd up.
Sangria'd up.
We have
spilled the tea at brunch.
We did. Brandon joined us for those who are invested in our friendships.
That's right.
Savannah was otherwise occupied, and Hope was, I'm sure, otherwise occupied in some way. These are all of our co-hosts.
Those are all of our friends.
That's the sole entirety. But no, we had many beverages. We had
That's fine.
That's a Sunday morning for you. That's the point, right?
Yeah. Especially a Sunday morning after a college football Saturday.
Hell yeah. College football Saturday. I don't think that we've said who our team is yet.
No.
Do you think it would give things away?
Considering we live in the town where that team resides.
We went to the school.
Twice.
Both of us. We have four of these diplomas.
Yes, all from the one university.
On this couch, there are four of these diplomas. Yeah. But at some point, once we have an incredible season, because this is our year, then we're going to have to talk about it.
Sure.
Because we're not going to not talk about when we win the national championship.
Well, after watching last night, I'm feeling very, very concerned about our path.
The fury, the smoke coming out of your ears, the anger.
Out of context, it's not as fun to listen to us like vaguely talk about it. But just believe us. Just imagine that you're like a Division I SEC team playing a college that's like a few hours down the road. Who, they probably have 4,000 students total at this college, and their football team was like 35 people total.
We paid them
to come play us, and we struggled.
As we do frequently. We pay teams to come so that we can beat them.
Yes.
It's like we're renting them out for the weekend so that we can get a win and they can get the experience of being blessed by playing us.
Yeah.
So pretentious. I'm sorry, folks.
Well,
but
I mean,
that is how football works.
If you're familiar with other SEC, like I know based on our stats that there's like, you got some people from Alabama and Georgia all up in here. Y'all understand.
SEC football. We get it. Yeah, and so it's a core tenet, it's a core value around here, our SEC football, and it was very frustrating. That was a frustrating game.
I mean, look, we came away with the win. I'm just hoping that instead of focusing on this week's game, we were focusing on next week's game.
Yes.
And just didn't prepare for this game at all. That's what I'm choosing to believe in my brain. In my brain, that's not real.
In your reality. And similar to how you change the main character to look like, the male main character to look like whomsoever you desire for him to look like.
Yes.
You do not accept him as, if he is blonde, you edit.
I shan't. I know. Anna tagged me in an Instagram reel the other day. There's a dog licking my face.
Good boy.
And it was like, I think it was the person reading the book, and it was like, he had long blonde hair, and then it like switched to like short hair Thor, which is like exactly who I talked about last week in last week's episode.
Of like, if there's any Thor, it's short hair Thor.
My brain, short hair Thor with like the darker eyebrows.
Yes, that is the one that you accept and you reject all others. Yeah, it was. You do be over here editing the male main character to match.
I have been known to not know the character is blonde.
You did. You reject that reality.
Yeah, I think in Right Man Right Time he was a blondie baby, and I was like, I don't think I know what color his hair is, and you just shouted at me, he's blonde. I'm like, okay.
I don't think I know what color. I know full well what color his hair is.
In my brain, he is not.
I accept the male main characters that have dark hair or have hair that's not usually my preference, not usually my vibe, but I accept them as they are because I say, maybe there's something to learn here. Maybe I could enjoy someone who does not look like my ideal type.
Hey.
And
if a character is like really great,
like Thor.
Yeah, or red, white, and royal blue.
Oh my god,
he's a blondie baby.
And he is a blondie baby, and accept.
When he drove that fast car, I was like, I am interested.
He stepped out of that fast car looking like a very British angel, angel sent from heaven above. Yes. Well, speaking of angels sent from heaven above, literally.
Oh my God, you all. we love getting emails. It's like our favorite thing in the whole world. And we got an email from a wonderful listener. This is the best email I've ever read. And we're going to read it.
We read it like with so much joy. We were like, no, like several dramatic readings of this email.
Yes. And this person's our new best friend.
Bestie.
Yes. So I would like you all to, this person has lived in a romance novel for sure. Yeah,
this is an IRL romance novel experience that she shared with us, which was so generous. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Okay, before we start, one of my favorite parts about this email was that we could not actually remember what the prompt was.
Yes.
Because we say, hey y'all, shoot us an email all the time. And we say that frequently. And so I didn't remember what we said, but then we got the subject line of this email.
Yes. So we ask y'all to email us about a bunch of random shit all the time. Please do.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee we're going to remember why we asked for that.
That's not the point. Yeah.
So the subject of this email is Sword Guy Dating Story. So at some point, we have asked you all to send us Sword Guy dating stories.
Or did we just ask them to send dating stories? I'm sure we've asked someone to send us dating stories. Like, yeah. Please, actually, all of y'all.
Sword Guy Dating Story is so specific, which makes me think that we did say those words.
Yes! Yes, I think so. Or like a Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is not the worst. Owning a sword.
Owning a sword. A samurai sword on your wall. So, shout out to this listener. Y'all, this email's the best. Okay. And it's all just like one big paragraph, which is...
The stream of consciousness formatting was one alarmingly relatable. Exactly how I talk. Exactly how I write.
No
things.
dedication. It just jumps right in.
Yeah. No, hello.
Yeah. No signature. Just...
Well, because they're spilling the tea.
Yes, and this is drama, obviously.
She knows, this is for us to consume with joy and delight. This is, no preamble necessary.
No. Okay. Sword Guy dating story. I am so embarrassed to say I dated a sword guy back in 2015. I was 24. So she's similar to our age.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. So I met a guy at work at Giant Company. So she works.
We're assuming it's Google,
Amazon, Disney.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. This guy's like creepy to work for Disney.
True.
Sorry, spoilers.
Amazon, he fits right in.
It truly does. Silicon Valley energy. Yeah. Hell yeah.
And while it wasn't a conflict of interest to date, it definitely wasn't something I wanted anyone to know about, so we kept it very, very private. He was super sweet, jacked beyond belief, and in the bedroom, he was like the MMC from our dreams.
Ah! And we're listening.
I want so much more information.
Jacked
beyond belief, and like really good in bed.
Big company. Did it say big tech company?
Giant Company is all it says.
Oh, Giant Company. Okay, wait. Most of those are tech companies, to our knowledge. But are tech bros? Are they jacked?
I have not met a tech bro that's jacked, but that doesn't mean that they are not.
Yes, this is very, we're stereotyping here. But, maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
The guessing is part of the fun. That was, we love the vague. We love the holes in the story because we're like, wait, we get to fill this in with whatever we want. Yeah,
my own brain can make up this story. Okay, so he's the MMC from our dreams. Yeah. He's so good in bed.
You got us.
My place was close to work, and his place was 30 minutes away, so we'd always go to my place. Makes sense?
Sure.
Things were going pretty great, but after about 3 months of hanging out, I thought it was weird that I hadn't seen his place, and some of the things he would tell me just didn't add up. It'd be like that sometimes.
Red flags.
So I got a little suspicious. Just a little suspicious.
And I'm not very suspicious.
Just a little.
Just a little stitious.
Just a little stitious. And I said I wanted to go to his place next time we hung out. Y'all, period. She's one of us.
A girly just like us.
Yes.
Y'all, period. Yeah, the drama.
There were dragons and swords everywhere. Everywhere, all capital letters, everywhere. Period.
So this is not just one or two smattered throughout, like a little homage to something.
Like, I like Game of Thrones. Here's a dragon.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Or this is gives samurai energy.
Yeah.
No, we're all in.
This is his
whole
person
personality.
needs to be away from me.
Yes.
There was even a little dragon figurine on his kitchen counter, and when you pulled the dragon's head up, it revealed a dragon knife. No.
Oh, dear.
That, along with some friends who knocked some sense into me and made me realize that he was not being fully transparent about several aspects of his life.
Oh, not just this.
And started showing some signs of being controlling. No.
Absolutely not, honey.
We don't fuck with controlling guys on this podcast.
Good call to end this.
Yeah, that made me end things. But what the fuck? I dated a dragon-loving, sword-wielding dude who slayed in the bedroom and had a six-pack. I had no idea all these things could be in one guy.
Yes, okay, this is strange.
This is the Maddie Healy.
Yes!
This is the fucking weirdo.
This is the fucking weirdo.
Like, maybe he's like really good in bed, but also, ew.
Yeah, but then he ends up being incredible. Like, I think, okay, so I envision him as being, like, hot beyond all belief. Like, just really, really hot.
Really hot, but then, like, you get to his place and it's like, oh, no.
But, like, when it comes to your house, out of his natural habitat, out of his environment, you think, like, this is the man of my dreams.
Yeah, it's like, when Maddie Healy goes to a Taylor Swift concert, it's like, hey, he's supportive. Look at that.
Yeah.
But then you go to his and you're like, oh, my God.
Oh, my God, you're terrifying.
The 1975 is scary.
Why would we ever associate with this person? You're not my real dad.
This is the best part. Today, I'm happily married to a former D1 hockey player.
Yes, you are, honey. You are.
Heart eyes emoji, muscle emoji. He played center and he was the captain. So apparently lots of centers are captains, according to Savannah.
Amazing.
And he agrees goaltenders are weirdos. So that's another data point, y'all. Goaltenders are weird.
Okay.
Superstitions are abundant and good flow is key.
She can contest to this being...
We have more data.
We have more data. We're just curious. We're here for the information of it all.
That's right. I love it. Love the podcast. Would love to hear y'all review Carly Fortune and Fourth Wing.
Interesting.
Yes. Fourth Wing, look, that's obviously on the list. It's very popular. We're going to read it. Carly Fortune, Anna's bullying me. So.
Yes, I have been bullying you to read a summertime lakeside romance.
It just doesn't seem like there's enough spice in there.
Oh, there is. There's such... Okay, slow burn spice, but there's such good spice.
Is it like Emily Henry spice, or is it like...
That's beside the point.
Okay, yeah. Look, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be like.
I mean, but we need... Emily Henry, beautiful. Emily Henry has beautiful writing.
Sure.
We have nerded out about some Emily Henry shit. It's just... There's not always a ton of... There is, though. Okay, look, our lovely listener would not have suggested Carly Fortune if...
She clearly listens to the podcast, so she knows what we like.
That is the energy. And Fourth Wing is definitely the vibe.
Yeah, Fourth Wing is the vibe.
I just haven't read it yet.
I
saw your book jacket on the table yesterday, and I was like, she'd be reading Fourth Wing.
Yeah, slowly, but yes, I am.
It's a whole other... Well, I'm finishing Court of Silver Flames.
Oh, that's right. I need to also finish, my reread, but...
Do y'all even realize how much we read? We read for our enjoyment, and we read for the pod. Which is also for enjoyment, but it's a little more structured.
Yeah, a little more diving deep. Anyway, thank you so much for this email. This is my favorite thing I've read, and I've read a lot of smut. I love this so much.
The fact that it happened IRL, like the fact that this really happened to someone, like bravo, girly. Get out there, get you some...
Hey, you got to fuck a really hot dude who likes dragons. That's fine. But then you also got to marry a hockey player.
Yes! And you have the courage to say, this is not my journey. I do not want to... I shan't be pursuing a long-term relationship with this person. But this was fun. So we were thrilled to get that email. We all giggled about it for so long and made up our own theories about all... We read in between the lines because that's what we do. And it was so enjoyable. And we sent our listener a sweet little virtual gift.
That's right.
So y'all, if you email us fun stories about your dating life, you can expect some little thank you gifts from us.
Yes.
Because we reward the behavior we want. Communicate with us. We love y'all.
So here's the real thing is that we're gossip doctors and we
are gossip doctors.
We want to hear all your tea.
So that we can... I have never once heard someone spill tea and been like, oh, I do not come in with judgment. I come in solely on the side of whoever is sharing the tea with me.
That's right. We're on your side.
No, in my day job, I tend to try to be a little more objective. But when like someone is telling me their side of the drama, I'm like all on their team. I'm 100%. Right. I'm a girl's girl.
That person sucks.
I am so supportive. I'm like, they how dare they? They hurt
I can't believe.
So yes,
we will defend you all to the death.
For sure. We are on the side of our listeners always.
That's right.
So fun.
I hope y'all enjoyed that email as much as we did.
They gave us, our sweet listener gave us permission to share on the pod. And so we of course respected.
Yes.
And y'all, this listener sent in things anonymously, which I loved. Like there was no, y'all don't have to tell us who you are. You can if you want.
Sure.
The girl at Hotworks. My girl at my Hotworks studio. I checked in. I came out of my sauna the other day. And I had recommended the pot. She was reading Book Lovers.
Oh, right.
I told you about this.
Yeah.
She was reading Book Lovers. And I was like, do you like this book? Have you read Other Smut? And she was like, you know. And I said, because I have a podcast.
I have a Smut podcast.
So I told you about that. Well, so then the other day I was coming out of my sauna and she was like tidying because she works there. And then she looked at me and she was like, hi, like with the like lit up face. I'm like, oh shit, you listen to my podcast.
You listen to you hear my voice on the internet.
She like did a double take. She was like, hi, and I'm like, oh god, this person's heard about my sex life. Okay.
That's so fun though. I love that.
Yes, you did that with another teacher
yes, one of the teachers at my school. Every time like we're friends, but like
pals,
we pass in the hallway and she always like stops and is like gives me the update on what she's reading. I love it.
It's chummy. Smut is better with friends.
Smut is better with friends.
We are here to bring people together and build a community of support and entertainment. So
that's right.
Good times. Well, speaking of good times, seamless segue into our third and final Allie Hazelwood novella. Y'all. Period.
Y'all. Period.
These have been so good.
Yes. This one is Below Zero. Mm-hmm. So y'all know I love a rescue fantasy. I want to be in danger. I want someone to come save me.
In distress. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you did your best. Like, you tried to be strong.
I was trying to be independent, and then I got stuck.
And you know, you didn't have to ask for the help. They just came in.
He just shows up. I love it.
Spoiler city for this brief little book, y'all. So y'all got to dig in because we're letting you know the punchline already, the best part of it. But I've got a sweet little synopsis here.
Let's do it.
It has 91,000 ratings and 10,000 reviews on Goodreads. God. Yeah,
this teeny little book.
Yeah,
Allie Hazelwood.
I know Allie Hazelwood is the best of us. Okay, each of these little synopses, they kind of like are some of the same stuff as the one before, but
yeah.
It will take the frosty terrain of the Arctic to show these rival scientists that their chemistry burns hot. Mm-hmm. Mara, Sadie, and Hannah are friends first, scientists always. Though their fields of study might take them to different corners of the world, they can all agree on this universal truth. When it comes to love and science, opposites attract and rivals make you burn. ... Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. Enemies to lovers.
Always.
So this is Hannah. We already did Mara and Sadie in previous episodes. Hannah's got a bad feeling about this. Not only has the NASA aerospace engineer found herself injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station. So relatable.
That happens to me all the time. I just do research,
girly.
And I'm out there in the field.
And just stranded.
Just getting stranded in my research.
Let's talk about how you fared in the cold this morning.
It was so cold at first, watch you all. And I thought I was going to die.
The air conditioner.
I was going to perish.
To be clear, Katie Bird is sitting over here in a little off-the-shoulder peasant blouse situation with shorty overalls.
It was so cold.
No wonder she's cold, people.
It's freaking summer. Y'all, where we live, it stays hot through degrees. October.
Yeah, at the very least. Yeah, you were not expecting that.
I was not expecting it to be.
You are an intrepid adventurer, but you were not expecting to freeze at the first one.
I should have just worn my sweatshirt.
You know, Hannah was also not expecting to be in the situation she was in. But yeah, aerospace engineer. She found herself injured and stranded at a remote Arctic research station. But the one person willing to undertake the hazardous rescue mission is her long-term rival. Ian has been many things to Hannah. The villain who tried to veto her expedition and ruin her career.
How dare he?
Mm-hmm. The man who stars in her most deliciously lurid dreams. Oh my God, their first encounter. We'll get to it. But he's never played the hero. So why is he risking everything to be here? And why does his presence seem just as dangerous to her heart as the coming snowstorm? To read Mara and Sadie's stories, look for the novellas Under One Roof and Stuck With You, available now from Berkeley.
And listen to the previous 2 episodes.
We highly recommend. Okay, they were published, or this one was published last summer.
Oh, nice.
July 5th, 2022.
This one's pretty new.
Goodreads is so fun, y'all. We're going to do better at, I'm going to follow her. Oh my God. Allie Hazelwood, one day we're going to see you. We're going to interview you on the podcast.
Did you follow her from our podcast account?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I did. Bride. Okay, that's the one coming. Sorry,
is that the werewolf one?
Yeah, that's the one that's coming. That's coming in the February. Oh, it looks like people have already gotten advanced copies. What do we have to do?
How do we do that? Someone, y'all, chime in. How do we get advanced copies of stuff?
And if any of y'all have written romance novels,
send them to us. Oh my God.
Do you know how happily we would do that and give the most glowing review? We only say sweet and wonderful things.
That's right.
We are concerned about the correct holes, but that's all.
I mean, y'all know what we like.
Y'all know our taste at this point. All right,
let's dive in
into the prologue.
You know how it goes. I have notes. If you're sensitive to spoilers, you're not going to like this.
This is not the podcast for you.
Read the book and come back. It's short. It'll take you 2 hours to read it.
Seriously, 2.5 hours. It's the best.
All right. So again, disclaimer, I have all these books in one giant book together. And so where I'm on page 243, it's actually chapter 1. So it's made up and the points don't matter.
Yeah, the page numbers are truly made up.
Yes. Okay, so in chapter 1 on page 243, people assume, and for the most part, I let them believe what they want. Caring what others think is a lot of work, and with a handful of exceptions, I'm not a huge fan of work. I wrote, the things you could teach us, Jedi Master Hannah.
Jedi Master Hannah.
What's it like not to care what other people think?
And you know what? I could not help but think of how somebody gave the review that Allie Hazelwood just writes the same book over and over. It's just the same formula. Hannah is a great example of how she, in fact, does not write the same character over and over. Because Hannah, while yes, she's an aerospace engineer, she's a STEMinist hero, but she is bisexual. Mm-hmm. She is not like a good girl. Like,
she's anti-commitment.
Yeah, she's very much like we've got an avoidant attachment style going here. Mm-hmm. And she is she found her like high achieving whatever later in life when she found something she was passionate about.
Exactly. Yeah, she wasn't always a strong student.
Yeah.
And then found something that she liked and
she worked
hard.
Yeah, I feel like that's been the story for so many of the other female main characters.
Naturally gifted.
Yeah, like naturally gifted, like super high performing and good at everything and cares so much and just like pours herself into your work. Hannah is just like, I don't know how I found myself here.
I only like space.
Yeah, I just happen to really like space. That's my hyperfixation. Yeah, and then she turns on the jets to learn about it. And so I thought that was a really fun, I appreciated that perspective.
Yeah.
She gives a little more, she reminded me in some ways of our friend in grad school who everyone was afraid of.
Oh, yeah?
I could say her nickname because it's not related to her name, but it made me think like, oh yeah, like more avoidant. Just like, Withdrawn. Cool.
Yeah.
Mysterious. Mysterious is really the energy.
Very mysterious.
Which we respect.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's true that some people who are in these like high achieving fields weren't always great students.
Yeah.
Like, that happens. Sometimes you just have one little niche that you fit into and that's completely fine.
And you get passionate about it and you excel in that one thing. I love it.
Yeah.
What would that be like to just pour yourself into the thing you care about and not care what anyone else says about everything else?
What's it like not to care so much about stuff?
I would prefer to care a lot less,
I care so much about everything all the time.
We got a little intensity. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's right. Page 245. People obsessed with space are split into two distinct camps.
Yes, I love this.
The ones who want to go to space and crave the zero-gravity spacesuits, drinking their own recycled urine. No. And the ones like me, what we want, oftentimes what we've wanted since our frontal lobes were still underdeveloped, enough to have us thinking that toe shoes are a good fashion statement, is to just know about space.
Yeah.
Look,
just to know.
I fall into neither of these categories. Space is not my business. I don't care about it.
Space The only interest that I have in space is a gentle interest in astrology.
Yes.
I am not anti-astrology by any means.
No.
I am anti the people who use it as an excuse for not taking ownership of their shit.
True.
Don't love that. But I'm into the vibes.
I love to blame the planets on my problems.
Mercury's in the microwave.
Mercury being in the microwave really fucks me up.
Truly. I'm fascinated. Our friend Hope is quite the astrological queen, and I am a big fan. I love learning about...
Oh, yeah.
But I know that it's in space, too. Like, the planets are in space.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm mostly caring about the impact on my life.
Yes.
That's
Make it about me.
That's more what it is.
I know. I wrote here, unless we're talking about Star Wars or like the Avengers Infinity War Endgame, I don't give a shit about space. Like,
no, it's not.
It's the Elon Musk of it all. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I'm good. It actually makes me feel like I can't breathe very well.
It's very scary.
Yes. Hey, I do have a note.
Oh, cool. Let's do it.
Okay, I was feeling contemplative, I think. Well, two things. Whenever she's saying caring what others think is a lot of work, with a handful of exceptions, and I'm not a huge fan of work. Then later on down, she says, in the first grade, I refused to learn how to write my name, even though Hannah is only 3 letters repeated twice. So
that's Anna energy.
Oh, well, yes, that is 100% my energy. The rebel, like, fuck all of y'all. But, like, I'm not doing what you want me to do is really
I will not be doing that.
Yeah, well, so my name is Anna, A-N-N-A.
It's 2 letters.
It's a palindrome. It's the same frontwards and backwards. But it actually, I would write all kids do this when they're learning to read and write, but I would write my N's backwards accidentally. And so it actually was kind of effortful. A and N-A. The N's, I was like, but what way do they go?
It's confusing.
What way do they go?
I have some backwards E's on some of my on my old stuff, but you know.
I mean, we had to learn.
It's hard.
Yeah, truly. Okay, my next note down here, this is all kind of clustered. She says, I didn't have a plan for after except for leaving now behind. And then the note is, I had this feeling, or this section is what I have highlighted. I had this feeling my entire life that I was never going to be enough. And I kind of highlighted that, or I mentioned, I feel this sometimes. Do you feel not enough or too much? Which one do you land on? Because I feel like people kind of, if we're going to make a binary of it, people fall into two. Like, I feel like I'm never measuring up, or I feel like I'm always overdoing it.
I think it depends. I think it's situational.
Okay.
Like, I don't think I've ever felt like I'm just right. Like, I'm just in the middle.
Same.
Like,
same. I'm never like, oh, I fit right.
This is great.
Mainstream, middle of the road.
Yeah. So, like, in situations
what
like...
would that be like? Sounds nice.
I'm great.
That means you just kind of blend in.
Yes. Like, situations like this where, like, I'm trying really hard and I want to be successful and I really care about this. Like, I feel like I'm too much. Like,
okay.
I care too much. I'm putting in too much effort. Like,
I don't receive you that way at all. I mean, the beach tent is a lot, but I really enjoy it. I love that you care about it. The canopy.
So maybe too much is often, but like the not enough is like, I mean, in any time where I felt like just a little bit inferior, I'm like, I'm clearly not enough. I cannot be here.
Yeah.
I am not enough.
It's the all or nothing of it all. It's like the black and white. Like either the pendulum is way over here and I'm too much for everyone around me and I need to tone it way down, or like I in no way, shape, or form can measure up.
Yeah.
I'm completely not enough. Yeah, I feel that in so many settings. Growing up, this week with Olivia Rodrigo's new album. Yes. It was so good. You work with teens. I dabble in teens every now and then and have some emerging adults. And that album, brilliant. It captures the teen experience.
Yeah, exactly.
But especially the Ballad of the Homeschooled Girl. I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh.
I saw the title of it on something, and then you texted me the song. You were like, hey, like, this is everybody I like is gay.
Yeah, I was like, not the second verse saying every guy I like is gay. Oh no.
We had just talked about how, that's happened maybe to me a couple of times. maybe twice.
Hey, it's not our fault that gay men are just nice to be around.
Gay men are wonderful. They're beautiful.
Kind and caring and
exactly. So sue me. I don't know. But yes, that's the feeling. I feel like my measuring stick has always been off for like too much or not enough. When you grow up in that's my... I feel like this is a common experience, and it's just exacerbated by growing up outside of culture.
Right.
And then getting into mainstream culture and being like, okay, but like, how do I do it right? I want to be in the middle of the pack correctly.
Yes, I want to fit in here.
I want to fit in correctly, but I always end up being way too much. Or like,
I think this is just it must be a common experience. This is a
human experience, probably.
Especially for women. Like, we're always questioning what we're doing at all times. Like, is this okay? Am I...
Yeah. We're conditioned, hot take, but capitalism sure does benefit off of women feeling that they are either way too much or way not enough.
Right, exactly.
Because there's always a product, something you can buy, something you can do. Like, you can invest in changing that. Yeah, she said underneath this, she says, I internalized pretty early that I was never going to be as good, as smart, as lovable, as wanted as my perfect older brother and my flawless older sister. After several failed attempts at measuring up, I just decided to stop trying. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the in the bridge of All American Bitch, where she's like, I'm grateful all the time, I'm sexy and I'm kind, I'm pretty when I cry. It's like all of these things that we're expected to be.
Yeah.
But then if you are all of these things, like you're grateful all the time and you're so humble and you're so kind, then it's like
get taken for granted.
She's fucking fake.
Yes.
What a fake ass bitch.
Yeah, she's so fake. She's too good.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the razor thin edge that female identified folks walk down every day of our lives.
Yes.
Like, and I know Barbie movie and Feminism 101 like captures this really beautifully with America Ferrera's little monologue. But just like there is no winning.
Yeah, there's no way to win.
Because this game is stacked against us, y'all.
Yeah.
So make a podcast about sex.
This is how we tell the straight men to back off.
Like, there's no winning. We just need to be ourselves.
Yeah.
Because this game isn't designed for us to... The only winning is to step outside of the game.
That's right.
And say...
I'm not playing this game anymore. This game isn't fun.
I uninvite myself from the journey to try to fit the unattainable standards.
That's right.
Because the bar will always move.
Yeah.
You try to be a good friend and you're a terrible friend. You get accused of being a terrible... Or you try to be, not take up a lot of space and then people forget that you exist.
Yes.
It's y'all.
It's tough. It's tough out here.
So y'all take care of yourselves. Be true to yourself. I feel like that's kind of our female main character steps into some of that. Stepping into, this was my journey.
This is who I am.
But I like Mars. Yeah.
I think Mars is cool. There's not an ocean on Mars.
You know what?
Stop talking about it. There's not one.
She's passionate about it.
There's no water.
Let people be interested in what they're interested in.
Exactly.
I love hearing what people are passionate about.
That's why I do what I do.
Yeah, seriously.
Tell me everything.
Yeah. I love seeing all the communal highlights on a few things throughout this. It's the shared experience of it all.
Sure is.
All right, what you got?
Page 247, we've got a Taylor Swift reference.
Yes, we do.
It was on purpose. But unlike the other new hires, I don't feel like Mars and I were always meant to be. Mars is the planet, not a person.
Yes.
There was no
invisible string.
Yes, there's no guarantee, no invisible string of destiny tethering me to this job, and I'm positive that I made my way here through sheer brute force. But does it matter? No.
But does it matter?
I'm here. I made it here through sheer brute force.
Beautiful.
Does that matter?
Yeah, I feel like, you know what? If she were a man, we would applaud that brute force. We would say, "Good work. You worked your way to what matters. You worked your way up in your career." I'd be your fearless leader.
I'd be an alpha type.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it's a... But does that matter?
And
the context is she's thinking she's with another girl in the room, the only other female in the room at their NASA orientation, and it's like it's clear that this girl, like, this was all she ever dreamed of. And that's great too. That's also really
both
cool.
Can exist.
Both are really valid ways of being. We're proud of both of y'all.
Yeah.
But she was like discounting her accomplishments a little bit, and so.
Page 256. Let's meet Ian.
Let's meet Ian.
I take the opportunity to study him. He seems quiet, the silent type, aloof, a little stiff, Big, more lumberjack than engineer. Interesting. I briefly wonder if he's military personnel, but the day-old stubble on his face tells me it's unlikely. And such an intriguing, handsome face it is. His nose looks like it was broken at some point, maybe in a fight or a sports injury, and never bothered to heal back quite perfectly. His hair, red, is short.
Have a
redhead. It doesn't happen very often.
A ginger.
It's short and a little mussed. More, I've been up working since 6 a.m. than artful styling. I watch him scratch his big neck and then cross his wide biceps on his broad chest. These are all italicized words. And he gives me a patient, expectant look, like he's fully committed to answering all of my questions. He is physically the opposite of me, of my small bones and tanned complexion. My hair, eyes, sometimes even my soul are black hole dark, and here he is, Martian red and ocean blue.
Oh,
he is big and I am small.
Now that trope is holding true. That trope is working for us. Now against the typical Allie Hazelwood trope, Hannah likes sex.
She sure does.
She has a lot of unattached sex.
She would like to have so much sex all the time,
which I love.
I appreciate.
We kind of she's bisexual and engages with lots of different folks, and I loved how we didn't make a big deal about that too. It was just like you just saw pronouns, and it was like, oh great, cool, yeah. I love that it was very normalized and like this is a person,
a person.
It was cool.
My note there was like. He's giving like Weasley, but like one of the hot Weasleys, like a Bill Weasley, maybe Fred, or if he was older.
I don't know. Well, Fred has a certain.
I think Fred and George are hot if they if they get older, and I mean they're like troublemakers.
They have to fill out. Okay. Yeah, that's not my vibe.
But then later on down the page, it says, "I'm itching to text Mara. Your cousin looks like a slightly jacked version of Prince Harry." Okay, so Prince Harry too. That's fine.
Yes. Yeah. So I was thinking like a jacked Prince Harry, but maybe a little more chiseled. Prince Harry does give like British royalty in like not a cute way. Like British royalty are not always attractive.
An inbred kind of way.
Yeah,
that's true.
It is so true. But like this, Ian gives more of like a finely tuned like yes,
a very cut Prince Harry,
almost like a Mr. Bingley's kind of little. From the 2002.
Big giant jacked redheads chime in. Like
yeah, any big giant jacked redheads, let us know.
Y'all know any of them?
Yeah, wait, who are more in popular culture? Like this doesn't happen very much.
I mean Ed Sheeran, but he's not very big. He's shorter than Taylor.
He's not like this is like we have big wide
people will defend Ed Sheeran with their lives.
Oh, they will. Oh no, we're not anti Ed Sheeran.
His music's great.
Yeah, and we're talking about like a male lead that we can drool over. I genuinely can't think of any more.
Page 263. They're talking. So she's interviewing him.
So is this 5 years ago now?
Yes.
Is this when she's okay?
She's interviewing him.
Again, this is structured like the other ones. We've got a real rhythm of how these are structured. This one it does like the bounce back and forth until we get to present day. Well, we're in the present, and then we bounce back to 5 years ago when she met him.
Right. And he is Mara's cousin or something. I think they always say cousin or something. It's like some guy that's related to her. Yeah. And she's interviewing him for a project for grad school because he's a super genius, like graduated high school at 16 and like got his degree in 2 years. And he's a very young professional aerospace engineer.
I bet he can sing too.
I bet he can. Page 263. You built a maze-solving robot? Yep. 4-wheel, all-terrain, Bluetooth module, solar-powered. Her name was Ruthie, and when I set her free at a corn maze somewhere near Atlanta, she got out in about 3 minutes, scared the crap out of the children, too.
This is what Hannah did.
Yeah. He's fully smiling now. He has a heart-stopping dimple on his left cheek, and, okay, fine, he's aggressively hot. Yes. Despite the red hair, or maybe because of it. You still have her? Nope. To celebrate, I got wasted at a bar that didn't bother to check IDs and ended up leaving her at some University of Georgia frat house. Ugh.
Not UGA.
No.
Gross.
Sorry, UGA.
She went to Georgia Tech, but UGA is close by. Sick.
Your campus is cute, but...
Sorry. Well, process of elimination. Y'all are going to realize which SEC school we are affiliated with, but...
I didn't want to go back because those places are scary. Correct. Mm-hmm. So I gave up on Ruthie and just built an electronic arm for my robotics final. I sigh and look into the mid distance. I'll need a lot of therapy before I can become a mother. Just like gave up on. Like, I'm not coming back for
robot. That is a little relatable. Just dropping something. Oh, there are too many barriers to getting that back.
Getting that back.
Yeah,
I know. I've seen all those cute little robot pets on TikTok. Where it's like little baby Wallies that sit on your desk.
Yeah.
It's like, I want one of those. And they're crazy expensive because it's a robot.
Yeah.
But they're so cute.
Well, it's Tamagotchis. It's the millennial need for a Tamagotchi.
We want our Tamagotchis back.
Yeah, give us our Tamagotchis back. Damn it. This is a universal highlight with 1,100 highlighters. And this is on page 32 in my actual...
in the real book.
Mm-hmm, in the real book. Which, again, Kindle, the shapes of the pages, you never know how many page numbers you have. But this is when I think that this is before or after, I don't know, she's still getting to know him before or after what you just read, but she's describing how hot he is.
He's extremely hot.
She says, he is, very simply, a never before experienced mix of cute and overwhelmingly masculine. Oh my God.
Oh, that's my next highlight too.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Yeah. With a complex, layered air about him. It spells simultaneously, do not piss me off because I don't fuck around, and ma'am, let me carry those groceries for you.
He got that boyish look that I like in a man.
Yes, mm-hmm. I love, okay, we got Taylor Swift reference.
That's right.
Because I love a boyish energy. That really, you know my partner. He's got a real push. but he's strong now. Like when Jay and I first started dating, he was like genuinely. I looked like a baby too. Mm-hmm. Like we got married at 23 and 25, and started dating. I don't know, 5 minutes before that. Kids, don't do this at home, please. Get to know the person you marry before you marry them. We just went on sheer soulmate energy, but yeah, boyish. He's filled out.
Yeah. Yeah, I typically don't like a boyish look in a man, but I can appreciate it. And it sounds hot when Taylor sings about it.
It sure does. I don't know. I don't discriminate.
We're open to all.
I just like men.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So like later on down, like just like 2 lines after that. Not my usual fare, not at all. I like flirting and I like sex and I like hooking up with people, but I'm really, really picky about my partners. Yeah, me too. It doesn't take a lot to turn me off.
You are.
It doesn't take a lot to turn me off to someone. I almost exclusively gravitate toward the cheerful, spontaneous, fun-loving type. I do not.
Golden Retriever.
I'm into extroverts who love banter and who are easy to talk to.
Jay.
The less intense, the better. So Hannah is just Anna then.
Yes.
This is the same.
Because it allows me to be who I am, which is sometimes I'm into that, and sometimes I want to balance that out. Mm-hmm. I don't have to entertain men like this. They entertain themselves.
That's true.
And Jay does need someone to interact with him at all times.
Yeah, I do not gravitate toward very spontaneous in general, just because I'm not a spontaneous person. I have anxiety, and I cannot live that way. I appreciate it in others, in my friends.
You do appreciate it in me, because that is very much how I'm like.
Yes, I mean, the most spontaneous I've ever been is since being Prince of Anna.
You're so loosey-goosey and laid
so
back now.
Relaxed all the time. The good news for me is that Ian seems to be the diametrical opposite of that, and yet I can see that there's something fundamentally attractive about him.
Would I try to pick him up at a bar? Unclear. Will I try to pick him up after the end of this informational interview? Also unclear.
I mean,
I know I say I wouldn't, but things change. Thank goodness for us, they do change. Because I love this scene.
I know.
Yeah, y'all. So I forget how they've structured the smut in the other books, but this is like we get some good to completion foreplay.
Sure.
At the beginning, and then we don't have any more until the end of this,
which is fun. I kind of like that.
Oh, it's so good, so good, so good.
I like listening to his low, even voice. I like that he seems to consider every single thing I say and never dismisses anything outright. I like that when he's thinking hard, he closes his eyes and his lashes are crimson half moons against his skin. I like that he builds meticulously pristine code with no memory leakage. Oh,
it is hot. Competence. I have a true competence kink.
My partner builds code.
My partner does not do that, but he does other things works very competently.
Very closely with machines.
Yes. Yeah. And he understands them in a way that I never will.
Surely. And I like that when his biceps brush against my shoulder, all I feel is solid warmth. Oh, I like his short, crisp functions and the way he smells clean and masculine and a bit dark. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's not my type. I do like him, though. Girly, it sounds like you got a new type.
So he's not my type. That sounds like not your type.
Sounds like I like his crisp masculine scent, but he's not my type.
His crisp masculine scent. Uh-huh. So fun. Yeah, on page 35 she says, so she's looking over his shoulder. This hot. So she also writes code, and she's looking over his shoulder in his little office. Whoops. Oopsie. She says, wow, a male engineer who's not an asshole. The bar is pretty low, but I'm nevertheless impressed. Because he's cool about her fixing his mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she points out, she's like, there's 5 errors in your code I can see from right here.
And he's not a dick about it.
And he's like, oh, help me fix it then. You can help me make this better. Let's do it.
Yeah, but Ian surprises me. He nods, fixes the mistake I pointed out, and looks nothing but grateful.
Interesting.
Wow.
Thanks.
If more guys could, because it shows security.
Yes.
Like they're secure in their own sense of self.
Right.
I don't have to be here to help you,
Yeah. We're not here to
stroke your ego.
Yeah, exactly.
That gets old real quick, let me tell you. Can confirm 100%.
On page 270, she's talking about what she's going to do after graduation. And she says, so I graduate and I decide that I want to work at NASA, and not for some weirdo billionaire who treats space exploration like it's his own homemade penis enlargement remedy.
Huh.
Yeah, fuck you, Elon Musk.
This is literally Elon Musk.
Spending all of your stupid money to go to space. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's
nothing is less hot to me than that. Like,
I believe I want like our podcast to be evergreen and not be dated by like, old news, but it's just such a, when did he start taking over Twitter and turn it into X?
Ew, it's so ugly.
It's so strange. Well, Twitter's a problem in the first place. But
yeah.
The real problem here is just Twitter in general, but
just social media for the most part.
Honestly. But do we need a billionaire? A gazillionaire?
Yeah.
Fucking with all of that?
No.
Absolutely not.
Page 272. I'm sorry, I don't follow. Ian's expression is all arrested confusion, like I just suddenly started talking in an Australian accent. Are you bad at what? At hitting on you, Ian. I can pinpoint the precise exact moment the meaning of my words sinks into the language part of his brain. He blinks a few times, then his big body goes still in a tight, impossible, vibrating way, like his internal software is buffering through an unpredictable set of updates. I love engineers.
I do too.
They're so easily just like knocked offline. Like, what?
It just, and you literally see it go to another like operating system, like section within their operating system, and then they compute, and then they spit it back out to you.
Yes.
It's like,
okay, now I know what we're doing.
It's such a fascinating, it's one of my favorite things to watch, the wheels turn. Yes. I enjoy it very much. It is tricky when they try to figure me out. Engineers have historically been like,
what's going on?
The Anna is an anomaly. What? She's a little all over the place. I have several clients who are engineers, and that does spark a lot of joy for me. But I think they're just fascinated by me as a counselor. I think they keep coming back because they're like, this one doesn't fit the mold.
This does not make sense.
This one, she's talking about feelings. Why? My feelings.
My feelings.
I want to know more. I enjoy it very much.
Yeah, my partner, he got some promotion for some meditation app.
My brain's adjusting.
A free year of meditation app, whatever.
Cool, yeah.
Great. And he was like, yeah, it's like, apparently it's very good for fives to meditate. And I'm like, well, yeah, because you spend so much time in your brain, you probably should like figure out what's
slow down
going
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was like, but I don't hang out in my brain. It's scary in there. And he's like, yeah, it seems like it is because you're never in your brain.
Oh,
It's like, thanks a lot. He goes, here's how I picture it. He's like, your brain is like this beautiful beach house, but you're like sitting on the sand outside, and like things are on fire in there, but you're like not paying attention to it.
That's an incredible description.
It's like, you're just like minding your business. It's like, I don't need to worry about that.
That's pretty accurate for you, honestly. You're like, I'm sitting that doesn't belong to me.
I'm sitting in the sand with my smut, just completely ignoring what's going on behind me.
Yeah. I've tried both. I have tried a mindful existence, knowing myself, knowing my inner workings. And let me tell you, I sometimes do long for the days when I used to not know what was going on inside my mind. And now, because now I know, and now I'm responsible for it. Yeah. But before I didn't know, and I was like, how could I have known? I don't know why I'm being really snippy. It can't be because I'm stressed.
It can't be because
I don't know what's going on in there. Yeah, I'm
just in the sun. Eyes so wide.
Yes, that's literally what it feels like. It's amazing. Don't try mindfulness. Don't know what's going on.
Y'all,
that's not my clinical advice.
I'm not that unaware of. I'm very self-aware.
You are self-aware. You are. But overall, in your downtime, you're not about to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not spending my free time reflecting. I shouldn't be doing that.
Unfortunately, that is what I do. It doesn't lead to good outcomes.
It's just everything's very loud in my head at all times, and I know when I have fucked up because my brain tells me immediately.
Yes, you will. Yeah, it starts to go off in there. It starts hollering.
It's like a siren.
The dancing has helped. Yes. Getting into your body.
Yes, it does.
Getting into your body helps when your mind is really chaotic. Yeah. Y'all. So that's kind of is talking about meditation and mindfulness in that quieting the thoughts.
Yes, he's got a lot of thoughts. They're all very smart thoughts, but sometimes he can't organize them very well. And that's part of that's dyslexia too, because he thinks in pictures, and so sometimes the pictures are hard for him to translate into words.
Oh my God, that's my experience of neurospicy as well. Mm-hmm. It's bad.
Yeah,
I'm excited to talk with him about meditation and mindfulness because it makes an enormous difference.
Yeah. I think he'll enjoy it. I mean, he loves being quiet in general, just spending time with himself, which is strange to me.
You're like, absolutely not.
I don't want to hang out with me.
Meanwhile, people love spending time with you. You're a delight. But yeah, it's an interesting. I'm just a very nonlinear thinking. My brain does not work in a sequential way. Yeah. It's not. I understand that people do that. I do. That they're able to just do A, B, C, D,
That's how
E.
my brain's very categorized.
It is why we work. It is literally why we work. I cannot express how that is. I'm not in that universe. I'm nowhere near that. If that was the A, B, C, D, E, I see vanilla, purple, North Pole, dogs, sex, fun, sadness, grief. I just see concepts. I see idea, and it's all just swirling around, y'all. That's my mind.
Wow. It's truly a testament that Anna does get things done.
It really is. That's what I want. I want our listeners to hear the experience of being clap. In my mind. Everyone. The fact that I have a graduate degree and that I am able to hold down a job is just really...
You're good at so many things.
Against all odds, honestly.
Hey.
Against all odds, your girl made it out.
We need neurospicy people. Otherwise, the world would be so organized and boring. Why would we want that?
I do bring a lot of interest. I bring a lot of interesting chaos into this world. And then we have folks who are able to think really linearly. And they are able to bring structure and order and decency, and that's what makes the world go around. We love it. We need both. We need all types.
Yes. Okay.
But Ian,
I mean, we're gonna kiss him. Let's do it.
Okay. Wait. I want to. So I think I'm. Okay. Keep on going.
Okay. Page 275. Ian angles his head, pushes his mouth against mine, and it destroys my train of thought. I'm not sure how he manages, but whatever he's doing with his lips and his teeth feels massively, aggressively right. I whimper when his tongue meets mine. He growls in response, something rumbly and deep in his throat. Okay, this is no first kiss. This is a fucking masterpiece.
Yes!
Symphonies and artists and poets writing about... This is me talking.
Yeah.
I wrote symphonies and artists and poets writing about Ian Floyd's kissing.
Yes, seriously.
This is a fucking masterpiece.
It is a masterpiece. It's such a... Ali Hazelwood does a great job describing the masterpieces of these kisses, and it's the soulmate trope too, of just like,
oh yeah,
this is, you wonder why it never worked with anyone else. Like, it makes sense that kissing was just regular with everyone else.
Yeah,
like, of course you didn't want to be with them. Like,
it was just regular.
Yeah. I love Before Their Kiss. That's what I was tied up in, is all these notes before their kiss, because it's so cute, because he says, she's like trying to flirt with him, and he says, I'm sorry, just like look at you, and she's like, I do look at me, and I'm nothing special.
I'm just little.
I'm just little. I'm just a little thing.
I'm just this little thing.
There's nothing special about me as a little thing. But it's just really beautiful. So women like me, I'll just read it on page 41. Sounds like I'll actually have to slap him. What's that? Because he says, beautiful. You're very, very beautiful. Probably the most, and you're obviously smart and funny. So he gives me a helpless look, suddenly looking less like a genius NASA team leader built like a cedar tree and more boyish,
Aww.
young. He says, is this some kind of joke?
Oh.
It's just, so she's, you know.
He's just trying to compute. That's
is this some kind of joke? And then Ian, I just love what Ali Hazelwood, how she describes things. I just want to read this to everybody. Is it okay if I just read it?
Sure.
Okay. This is before the kiss. Sorry, y'all. We're jumping around a bit, but this is the groundwork for the kiss. Is this some kind of joke? I study him through squinting eyes, revising my earlier assessment. Perhaps my conclusions were premature. She's also computing. She's also doing some computing in there. She's got the engineer wiring. And it's quite correct that no one can... It's not quite correct that no one can be this clueless. Perhaps someone can. Ian, for instance. Ian, who could probably make good money as a stock photo model. Stock photo model. Tags. Hawkeye, ginger, massive. I saw about 4 people check him out on our way here, but he apparently has no idea that he could be fan cast to play the hot Weasley brother.
That's what I said.
Yes, the hot Weasley brother. Absolutely zero awareness of how glorious he is. I grin, suddenly charmed. Can I ask you a question? I roll myself closer, and I'm not sure what happened, but he angled his chair so that my knees end up slotted between his. Whew! Nice. It's a bit forward. He looks down at our touching legs and nods, as usual, only once. Can I kiss you, like, right now? This is a kiss.
Yeah.
He stares, then blinks, then mouths something that's not a word.
Sweet baby.
Oh, my grin widens. That's not a no, is it? No. He shakes his head. His eyes are fixed on my lips, the black of his pupils swallowing the blue. It's not. Okay, then. And so then that's when the kiss goes.
That's not a no.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So we have a bit of a more forward, knows what she wants.
Yeah.
Girly, and I love that.
I know.
So hot.
Yeah.
Women, there is nothing. I was the one who came on to Jay first.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. We met at a retreat. And I saw him across the room, and I went up and I slid my fingers across his back because he was seated and I was standing behind him. And I went up and I said, hi. I'm Anna. I around his shoulders and peeked around. I'm Anna. And he was attached to me at the hip for the rest of the day. The rest of the weekend. Because it was a weekend trip.
Cute.
And it was really fun. We went and played paintball.
Sweet.
It was something. And then 2 weeks later, he told me he loved me. So
that's normal.
There, y'all get my origin story. That's for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
Back to these folks' origin story. This is maybe a little more interesting, a little more adorable.
Page 276. This is the next page, I think. I am grinding my groin against his, which is probably the reason we both sound like we're running a marathon. And in my defense, I really only meant for this to be a kiss. But yeah, no, I'm not stopping. And judging from the way his fingers dip into the back of my shorts and to cup my ass cheek and press me tighter into his hard cock, he's not planning to either. Does anyone else use this office, I ask? I'm not shy, but this is good. No interruptions, please, good. I don't want to wait till we get home, good. I'm going to come in about 2 minutes, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hannah and Anna are the same character. They're the same person.
Yes, we are.
It's like just about to fuck in a high security clearance office.
That is my dream. I love fucking in places you're not supposed to. I make no apologies. I don't know. Y'all try it sometime. Report back.
Sure.
Sex in public, that is a popular...
No, I'm not. I told you I'm not against it. It's just...
You're just acknowledging.
My brain says many things all the time.
So maybe you need to be in a...
Sometimes the circumstances are... It's fun, but does not lead to completion for me.
Okay. It's less enjoyable.
Well, it's not like it's... I don't mind it. It's just like...
You need to concentrate.
My brain is going to be focusing on every sound that happens.
That's also super normal. Needing to have some space to okay, I got to get in the vibe. I got to get there.
Yeah.
In order to get all the way there.
Yeah.
It may be enjoyable, but you may not come.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's sure. I get that. So maybe not in a high security office.
Yeah.
You would maybe be on edge.
Okay, a couple pages later, he pulls me back to bury his face in my throat. It's followed by a lick and a bite, and oh my god,
absolutely.
The sex is going to be off the charts, earth-shattering. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Let's do it again. Let's go to my place, or let's just lock the door.
Let's just lock the door.
I know. I wrote, let's just go literally anywhere. We'll find a place.
We're good. Just keep this going. Wow.
So there's some over the pants stuff happening,
which is so sweet.
Yeah, it is really sweet. And then later on the page, you want to hear about my socio-emotional trauma after we did this? He nods, serious and a little stiff, and I sober up. Seriously, he wants that. He wants me to explain to him that I don't really have the time or emotional availability for any kind of romantic entanglement, that I can't really imagine anyone sticking around for something that's not sex once they really get to know me, that I've long since realized that the longer people are with me, the more likely they're to find out that I'm not as smart as they think, or as pretty or as funny.
Because she doesn't do dates.
That's right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know that my best bet is to keep people at arm's length so that they never find out what I'm actually like.
Ooh.
Which is, incidentally, a bit of a bitch. I'm just not good at caring about anything, really. It took me about 1.5 decades to find something that I was truly passionate about. This friendship experiment I'm doing with Mara and Sadie is still very much that, an experiment.
Yeah, you have to keep up the charade. And if you keep people at arm's length, you can do that more effectively.
Yeah. And she says, she calls herself a bitch a lot. She has a resting bitch face, and she's not overly friendly, which is a crime
so
if you're
gendered.
A woman.
Yeah, that's some internalized misogyny too, of you can't be strong. And yeah.
I know. I wrote here, maybe you're not a bitch. Maybe you have opinions and you state them. Maybe you say no. Maybe you don't do what others expect you to do. That's not being a bitch. That's just being a human being that has thoughts and feelings.
And does not ingratiate herself to other people in order to prioritize their feelings over her wellness.
Right.
That's actually, if it were a man doing those same behaviors, nobody would say anything. It would be the least comment on. It would not be seen as a thing at all.
Exactly.
This is, I think last week I referenced, or last episode, on Our Best Behavior by, I think it's Elise Lohan. So sorry, I mix her name up with other names all the time, but it's about the 7 deadly sins and the price women pay to be good. And women are not allowed to be prideful. They are not allowed to be
lust,
sloth,
greed,
greed,
gluttony.
sloth.
Simply cannot have a whole meal.
Yeah, sloth. So resting.
Yeah.
What
a stupid fucking sin.
I know. Well, so in the book, she really breaks down the history of it, and she's like, this is incorrectly translated. She's like, this is all a hoax anyway. This was used to control people. It's not in a conspiracy theorist way, in a research oriented way. She cites the sources. She's like, this was made up. This whole idea of 7 deadly sins was made up by the church to control specifically women, because men are allowed to do these things and they're applauded for it. So it's
It's like, your grandpa who sits in his chair. He's got his recliner. He's got the remote. It's like, he's allowed to do that.
And he's prideful.
Yeah.
And he's not greedy. He manages his money well.
I've earned this. I'm going to sit on my recliner. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not, and anger at the football screen is something good. You know, like, there's 7 of them. So of course I can only remember 5, but yeah, it's an interesting, she does have Hannah has some dialogue in here where she's really like, oh no, this is so terrible that I'm this way. And it's like, no, you're just a person.
You're a person. You're allowed to be that way.
This is such an internalized
That's a
misogyny.
way of being.
Yeah. Can we maybe work on that as a culture? Y'all.
Yeah. Hey, like, I don't practice religion anymore, but, like, just, I encourage people to think critically about the religious texts that they read.
I encourage y'all to, you know what, your faith, if it is worth a damn, if it is worth anything, it will hold up under scrutiny.
That's right.
So ask questions. I don't care what your religious tradition is. Ask questions. Get curious. Does this align with what I believe to be true about people, about this world?
That's right.
Is this life-giving?
Yeah. The Bible was written by men, so humans.
Some of them were high while writing it.
Yeah.
The Paul writing on the Isle of Patmos, his visions in the book of Revelation. Shrooms. He was high on shrooms.
That's a trip. He's tripping. That's a colloquially we call tripping. So, and that's a bad trip.
And no disrespect.
That was a bad trip. He saw some fucked up shit.
Yes. And
then wrote it down and was like, here you go, sacred text. I don't.
No. It's an interesting. Yeah, these are our beliefs and opinions, and this is after, doing a lot of our own explorations, and we have friends and family of all religious and spiritual persuasions.
That's right.
That we love and support. We're just saying, hey y'all, we encourage you to examine your beliefs and ideas from all angles.
Exactly.
Because we care for your wellness.
Yep. If they can pick and choose what parts of the Bible to use, y'all can pick and choose what works for you in the religion.
Yes. And maybe have your guiding light be kindness to self and others.
Yes. Just as a general rule.
Kindness to yourself and kindness to your communities.
Exactly.
That would be maybe how we understand Jesus to have lived. So let's use that as a little guideline.
With magic powers. Harry Potter.
Yeah, just be safe out there. Take good care of yourselves.
I think I was talking to it was my brother. He has good opinions. He was like, my brother and my cousin, they're similar people.
God.
And they were like, what if Jesus was just like a fucking frat bro? Like, he didn't turn the water into wine.
Is this your younger brother?
Yeah.
Obviously.
He didn't turn the water into wine at the wedding. He just showed up with the cart and it was like, the keg's here, y'all.
The keg. And then everybody's like, he's a god. Yeah. Dude. Like, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I like this. Was this at the Labor Day?
Yeah.
Labor Day gathering.
Whatever one I texted you about. The most recent one.
I'm glad to get the notes on what actually happened. Which was y'all deciding, like, what if Jesus was just a frat bro?
What if Jesus was a frat boy? A frat bro. Got a backwards cap.
Yes.
He's got the alligators on his shirt.
He's got the Berks. The alligators on his shirt.
Anyway.
We've devolved. So Ian and Hannah have a sexual encounter to completion, both of them, in his office.
Yes. Fully clothed
hot,
as well.
So hot. So we're getting smut straight out the gate. This is page 48. We're into some good smut.
That's right.
And then he's like, I want to take you on a date because I'm going to fall completely ruinously in love with you.
I love you.
Yes, I love you immediately. You're everything I've ever wanted in a woman. And it's so darling. But then she's like, I don't date because I push people away.
I don't do that.
So
come on.
She's like, you can't get any closer to me. If people get close to me, they decide that they don't want to be with me. And yeah, y'all let people into your lives.
Yeah, it's completely okay to do.
I promise that you're worth loving.
This story flips back and forth. So we're jumping forward to the future where she is on her research expedition.
Yes.
And she has been stuck in a crevasse. That's what a crevasse. Crevasse. Crevasse.
We need to watch Animal Planet or Discovery Channel or something.
What is
and
it
watch
like?
Some Arctic.
So we learn that she is stuck in a little crevasse. and she's in danger.
She is in danger.
Avalanche danger is set to the highest level, and it's not safe for anyone to come out to get me, I add, speaking right into this sat phone's mic. So she's got this like fancy research phone that's not a real phone. It's like a walkie-talkie. Repeating what Dr. Merrill, my team leader, told me a few hours ago during my last communication with AMSE, NASA's home base here in Norway. It was right before he reminded me that I'd been the one to choose this, that I'd known what the risks of my mission were, and that I'd still decided to undertake it. That the path to space exploration was full of pain and self-sacrifice. No. That it was my fault for falling into an icy hole into the ground and spraining my fucking ankle.
Gaslighting.
That's right. Well, he did not say that, fucking or fault. He did, however, make sure that I was aware that no one would be able to come help me until tomorrow, and that I needed to be strong. Sorry, no. If I'm trapped in a fucking glacier, you best be sending every damn body you know.
Immediately.
I shan't be strong. I want Taylor Allison Swift herself in a hard hat. You're sending I am not.
If I have done this for science, then science better fucking come out of the woodwork to dig me out of there.
You best be sending everybody you know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, that would mean I would be getting out there in the first place, and I shan't. But wow, I know. Well, and this is why Ian. This spoilers, but Ian. He's trying to protect her from this. The leader of this expedition, he's a dick.
Yeah, he sucks.
And he's not going to value her safety in any way. And so we've all had bosses who do not give a shit about us. They just care about the mission and not about us as people. And so Ian knows this. And so he, as the story unfolds, he's been trying to keep her safe and trying to keep her from going on this expedition, which she sees as like,
you're
trying
hurting
to control me.
Yeah,
but in actuality...
He's doing it protect.
Yeah, so this is why.
We do learn that Ian is the one that doesn't grant the funding for her research. And it's because the trip is too dangerous. And Ian knows that, but the research funding has to be confidential. Yeah. But Dr. Merrill, the bad guy, he told her that Ian was the one that denied the funding, so they were able to get funding from somewhere else. And the reason Ian denied it was because he knew that it was not going to be safe.
And that Dr. Merrill did not give a shit about.
Right, that he's been funding, Dr. Merrill had funded other projects that were also not safe because he didn't care.
Just negligence. She's doing a little waller. A heckin' waller.
On the next page... The weather is not that bad. A wave of static almost drains the voice on the other side of the line. Ian Floyd's voice. Because for some reason, he's here, coming for me. It's a storm, Ian. Please tell me you're not just strolling outdoors when it's the worst storm of the year and it is just hours from starting. I'm not. It's just more of a brisk walk. I close my eyes. In a storm, a blizzard, winds of at least 35 miles per hour, heavy snowfall, and no visibility. You might be wasted at engineering. What? You're really good at meteorology and stuff. I cannot feel my legs. My teeth are chattering. Aww. I wrote, Ian in all capital letters. He come to a good rescue.
Aww,
and I wrote, y'all know this is my exact fantasy.
This is literally all you care about.
This is my exact fantasy.
This is it. He really does. And it's just, and she's like, no, I'm fine. But like, she really needed him.
Yes. And he jokes with her the whole time, and it's so sweet.
I know, the enemies to lovers, and it is giving Mr. Darcy in that, like, you know, I thought that he was a dick and that he was terrible and he was pushing me away, and then the whole time,
loved me.
the whole time he just loved her.
That's
so
right.
Good.
They mentioned you're injured. How bad is it? I glance at my boots. Ice crystals have begun to crust around the soles. Just a few scrapes and a sprain. I think I could maybe walk, but I don't know about 60 minutes. I don't know about 60 seconds. And on this terrain, you won't have to walk at all. Let's fucking go, Ian.
You won't have
carry
to walk
my ass back to safety, baby.
The implication is that he's going to carry you, Hannah. Oh, what chapter are you in? I'm trying to catch up.
3.
Okay, I bumped ahead a little bit.
Page 325, this is in chapter 7. They're talking over the walkie-talkies still, so she's stuck in the crevasse. They're just chatting.
Because he's trekking to save her.
Yes. How long have you been in Svalbard? I don't know what that is. Svalbard. He sighs, a warm chuff on the crown of my hair. I must be catching him off guard because this time he answers, 6 days. 6 days? That's one day before I arrived. Why?
Of course he cares.
Vacation. He nuzzles my head with his chin. Vacation, I repeat. His thermal is soft under my lips. Yeah, he yawns against my scalp. Lots of time left over. and you decided to spend it in Norway. Why do you sound incredulous? Norway's a good place. It has fjords and ski resorts and museums.
Fjords and ski resorts and museums.
He knew she was going to be there.
Yeah, I did.
And he just decided to bring his boat and vacation there.
And just kind of camp out in case she needed
That's right.
him. At the turntable, she sure did.
He came to do a good protect of the girl he dry humped in his office that one time.
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yes! Because a soulmate.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he loves her. Because she needs... just so good. So good. Can't go wrong.
Let's see. A few pages later... Thank you, Ian, for everything. Absolutely everything. I cannot believe you came for me. He cocks his head. Why? I don't know. I could bullshit an answer for him, but it seems unfair. He's earned more from me. I just can't believe anyone would do that for me.
Aww.
Right. He sighs and bites into his lower lip. Hannah, if that changes, if you ever find yourself able to believe that someone could care about you that much, and if you wanted to actually have dinner with that someone, he lets out a laugh. Well, please consider me. You know where to find me. I love this because he's stating his intentions.
Yeah, he's saying what he wants and needs.
He's also saying, here's my boundary. If you ever decide that someone is going to be worth your time, yeah, please consider me. But I'm not going to engage in this until you are ready to commit to me.
That is a healthy... Because she's been avoidant as fuck. Which we get it.
Yeah, sure.
She's really working through some stuff. But he says, hey, this is where I'll be. I am not going to... I will rescue you. But because he says at the outset, whenever they, dry hump in the office, he says, like, the whole thing is, like, I'm going to take you to dinner. Like, I'm not just going to have no strings attached. Like, I care about you as a person.
I want to be with you.
I want to be involved with you. I don't want just a surface level, just a one night stand kind of situation.
Yeah. And he's like, that would be hurtful for me. So I'm not going to do that.
He knows how he feels about her, and he knows that it would kill. It would be terrible. And so I just love knowing it. I love the maturity.
Yes.
I just love the maturity is really hot.
I love a grown-ass man.
Just the grown-ass man of it all.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just really as it should be.
It works out really well. Page 343. I want to fuck you, obviously. Always have. I just don't want to fuck you once. I want to do it a lot, for a long time. I want you to come for me for sex, but I also want you to come for me when you need help with your taxes and moving your furniture. I want fucking to be the only one of the million things I do for you. I want to be... He stops, seems to collect himself, and straightens as if to give me space, to give us space. I'm sorry, I don't want to crowd you.
Ooh.
I love it. I wrote, it's dress and it's New Year's Day had a love child.
Yes, seriously.
I would love to take off that dress, but I also want to clean up bottles with you in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yes, we got a little repetition, a little work in there. That's literally what it is. It's like I think it's what it's done. Mailman character saying this kind of thing before because it really fucking works because it's commitment. It's like sex, 2 thumbs up. I definitely want to fuck you, and I want to be with you.
Yeah,
and that I think is really what does it for me. I'm an emotional intimacy kind of gal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some emotional intimacy generally speaking, in order to want to fuck you.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's gonna be just the progression for me. I don't know. Call me crazy.
Call me crazy, but that's how it be.
That is how, and that's not to say that other folks, and there is smut for every flavor, everybody's persuasion. Thank goodness, because sexuality is really, it's all kinds of beautiful, magical things. And so there's lots of different smut for it. But this, I really enjoy. This is my vibe.
Don't mind me, I'm just over here reading smut.
So
I was just reading the page.
Just let my eyes devour this goodness.
Page 348.
Share a little bit of this.
Hannah, he says, his tone is laced with command. What? His cock twitches against my abdomen. I think I'll be in charge now. Okay. Whoops. Sure.
You may do that.
That's also my kink.
You sure can. So also her ankle is injured.
I know, you gotta do really, really careful with her ankle.
So he's very...
Yeah, there's not a lot of flinging around in this scene because her ankle is sprained.
Yes, which is so tender and so sweet.
It is really sweet. He spreads my legs open with his knee, positions himself right between them, and I expect him to slide in one smooth move. I'm certainly wet enough, and the way he grips my waist betrays his eagerness, but for long moments he just seems satisfied to nibble on my tits, even though I can feel his erection hot and a little wet rubbing against the inside of my thigh.
Interesting.
Whenever he shifts. It leads me to gasping and him groaning and something deep and rich rising from the pit of his chest.
Very nice. That's what we're working with, folks.
That's right.
That's what we're working with.
That was just a
little taste.
Sorry.
Just a little bit there.
A little taste. On the next page. Sorry.
It's just really vivid.
It is.
Allie Hazelwood is extremely descriptive, yet really poetic.
Yes. His tongue dips inside my belly button, tasting and probing. But when I begin to squirm and pull him up, he follows meekly as if aware I can't take much more. Maybe he can't take much more either. His finger parts my swollen labia. Y'all.
Yes. Labia.
Labia count. We don't get a labia very often in smut.
We don't. We hear lips. We hear folds.
The femininity.
My core.
Yeah, exactly.
The ether. There was a stupid TikTok of this girl. She was not stupid. It was amazing, but it was just the situation. Her legs were parted. She woke up. She was naked in a sauna.
Sure.
And then everyone else saw her.
The ether.
They were clothed. And she was like, there was just a slim strip of fabric. She had on panties. There's a slim strip of fabric separating them from the ether.
Them from the ether.
It's like, well, yeah,
that is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Her center. But to hear labia, we like it.
So this is pretty much the end of the book. The sex scene is the end.
So good.
The pleasure crashes over me like a tidal wave. I close my eyes and hold on to him as tight as I can. I let the ocean wash over me.
Aww.
Yeah. And then there's some bonus chapters at the end of my book, where
the epilogue.
Well, I have like 3 separate little bonus chapters of all the little people.
Oh, cute. No, I think I have that too because I'm only at 86%.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, no. Wait, maybe not. Tell me what you've got.
So, Mara is telling Liam that she's pregnant. And Liam's obviously very excited, but then he learns that everyone else knew before him. And he's like, well, she's like, yeah, I had to tell my friends. And they had to tell their husbands.
Wait, I haven't read this.
Yeah.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
And he's like, wait, so... like Sadie and Hannah and their partners knew that you were pregnant before I did.
Well, yeah, because Sadie and Hannah have to know immediately. They're your girls.
I had to send them a picture of the pregnancy test.
Yeah, and then of course they told their partners because they're not going to keep a secret. But yeah, so you, the father, are the last to know.
Yeah. So then, like Liam and Eric and Ian all become friends.
They're all buddies.
It's really cute.
Of course they are.
Like all 3 girls walk into Eric's apartment, and all 3 guys are playing like FIFA on the PlayStation.
Cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. So it's pretty much that. And then
we love a crossover.
Eric proposes to Sadie in their bonus chapter.
Aww.
And then Ian and Hannah's is cute because he's like, I don't think I should propose to Hannah. I don't think she'd like that.
I don't think she wants that.
Hypothetically, he continues, settling in the passenger seat. Hypothetically, he looks straight ahead, swallows again. If I were to ask, hypothetically, what would you say? There's a thick, suspicious silence on the driver's side of the car. Not at all suspicious. And when it pulls his gaze in Hannah's direction, her expression isn't serious or annoyed or anything that he can discern. I guess you'll have to try and see, is all she says.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So you get a little wrap up. It's really cute. It's not spicy at all. It's just sweet.
Well, these are such great characters.
I know.
I enjoy them. And I love the, we've said this many times about Allie Hazelwood, but she does a beautiful job with female friendship.
Yes, she does.
She is a girl's girl. We love the female friendship element. So that's so sweet that they're all pals. Adorable. Oh my God.
So that was Below Zero.
So good.
So
those were all 3 novellas.
We did it. We did all 3.
And The Loath to Love You. I just saw an instant New York Times bestseller.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've read, you get it.
You get it.
I'm instantly reading this.
Yeah. So Ian, I I love Ian.
Ian, are you a fan of Ian?
I'm a big fan of Ian.
He's got a lot of qualities that are right up your alley.
Yeah.
I feel like in looks, Liam is the guy who looks
for sure.
Yeah, like that's the aesthetic experience. But
sure.
Ian's energy, like that's very much your vibe.
Yeah. I love a stoic, very smart, calculated type of man.
Very responsible.
Yeah.
Like not expecting attention or like accolades for being wonderful, just like secretly wonderful.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a great energy. Yeah, so 5.
Sure. And I think a 5 in the streets. I mean, I might put him like at a 4 in the sheets just because the scene comparatively
he's just very eager
comparatively to the other two. Yeah,
very short-lived.
He does he
comes very quickly both times.
In the dry humping scene, she just like mentions going down on him, and he's like,
so sweet.
He just comes immediately. Just like
a baby.
Like sometimes that's cute. Like I do.
That's endearing.
Sometimes I like in smut. It's very common for like the male lead to be like, "Oh, I'm not going to last very long," and that can be pretty hot. It's like
it is hot. It shows desire.
Yeah.
It's not hot if you really need to be fucked.
Yes,
it's actually extremely
frustrating.
frustrating.
They'll be like, I'm not going to last long, and then the scene lasts like 40 pages, and it's like, okay, you're fine. But
sure,
like,
this
the
is
idea
a
of it
full
is
sexual
hot.
experience. Yes. So and then in the scene, I mean, 4.5. Like I would say 4.5. Like this is still beautiful smut.
Oh, sure.
And like she's injured, and I love the tension. I love how much he loves her.
Yes.
We've got the he falls first trope. I don't know. He falls first. Yeah. She kind of, she initiates.
She initiates, but he falls in love, like, immediately.
And she's like, "Who could love me?"
Yeah. I'm just small.
What is... I'm just so tiny. Women aren't supposed to be small in our culture.
I'm just tiny and, like, really fun to be around, but I don't know who would like that. Who would like that?
I'm just really smart and good at everything I do, and, you know... I have this string of people who want to be with me, but why? I just can't imagine.
Can't imagine.
Mm-hmm. We get it, girly.
Yeah. The three boys.
Ooh, don't make me do that.
What do you think?
Feels like, oh God, I can't. Okay, no, maybe Ian.
Really?
I think Ian would be my favorite.
Okay, sure.
I think in the bedroom... Definitely Liam. And it's not that I don't love Eric. Okay, so I love Eric, the Nordic.
Eric is very serious.
Yes, I love how he looks. Okay, here's the thing, and I've mentioned this many times on the pod. I am scarred from being with people like the sad boy, serious. Like I've tried it and it went poorly. I'm not saying that I'm never attracted to that.
Sure. There
were really great things about my previous relationship, but it just went up in flames in a terrible way. And so the serious can still be very attractive to me. Mm-hmm. I'm still like, tell me more.
Yeah.
I'm still invested.
She's a Gemini.
That's really the problem here. You're trying to make me choose, and I am a Gemini. I'm twice a Gemini.
She wants both.
I'm a Gemini sun and moon and a Libra rising. So it's just the Libra energy is just fake.
Yeah, I think so. I think Ian's personality, but Liam's kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink.
The kitchen sink is
did it.
I love that scene so much.
You're welcome. This was all my idea. I take full credit for blessing you blessing your imagination with these three men.
I love it.
So good. Yeah, I think, and it's not that I don't love Eric. I do. I loved Dr. John Smith Turner. John fucking Smith fucking Turner.
That's right.
I loved I get him and Eric a little confused in my brain, in my memory. They're not the same person. Mm-hmm. But they're both big and blonde.
They are big and blonde.
I do love big and blonde. Whew.
Jonathan fucking Smith fucking Turner, he had more depth because it was a longer book.
Yeah.
But he was very intentional, and I loved that about him.
Yeah. So sweet.
I know.
Oh my God. Yeah, Eric, it's like when I say, like, when I'm ranking these guys, like, they're very they're all very up there.
Yeah.
Like this is not like, oh, he was no good. It's like, no, these are all like definitely.
I mean, they're all Brendans.
Yeah, like, these are Brendan category men.
Yeah, they're falling into the Brendan
like
category.
Ellie Hazelwood, there's a science to this. She's not writing bad characters.
No, absolutely
it's not possible for her.
No.
So, which of the girlies? I love how they're all a little different. I don't know. I would be friends with all these girlies.
Sure. I think. Well, I don't know. I would definitely be friends with them. I don't know if I relate to any of them any more than like another.
Yeah, I don't. I did like Sadie's like go get 'em energy.
Yeah,
that I really that's my Libra. That's the Libra of it all. I did love how Hannah pushes everyone away. I'm like, oh no,
sure.
But I don't know. I just thought they were all really fun.
Yeah, I like.
They're
Mara.
complex.
I like Mara too because she also, I mean, she stands her ground.
She was fiery.
Yeah, with Liam.
The fact that each of these are like 130 pages, the fact that like we can speak to these fully developed characters.
Yes.
We have read full-length smut books that we do not know. The characters are like, very flat.
Who is this person? Whomst is this?
Are we reading of? We're reading about their genitals, but we need to know more about their personality.
Who you are. Exactly.
As the turntables, I enjoy reading about their sexcapades far more if they're fully developed characters.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Who saw that coming?
Well, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this little mini-series. Allie Hazelwood's Loath to Love You.
Spicy little novellas.
Yes.
Highly recommend for each of y'all.
Sure. Quick afternoon read. Just dive on into it.
Dive on in and enjoy.
Yes. Thank you all so much for listening. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, anything you want to share, a story that you want to spill.
If you have crazy dating situations, we thrive.
We want it so bad. We don't date anymore, so it's like we have to live off everyone else's, live vicariously through everyone else.
I really eat up people's dating lives. I hate that it's sometimes painful for people, and I empathize, but I'm deeply entertained because I don't date.
I know it's we want to know.
Tell me everything.
So you can email us at ourkinkykindlespod@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok at OKKPod
and Goodreads,
and follow us on Goodreads. Our Kinky Kindles
for our happy little reviews. Coming up next, what do we got next week?
I don't know.
Well, we're toying with a few different options. We're maybe doing a Court of Silver Flames. That's an investment in a couple weeks here. Or toying with releasing Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Yeah.
That is a fun episode.
That audio is wild.
That audio is maybe...
If we made you all subscribe like to a Patreon or something, which we don't do, it would be something that we would put on there because it's like it's literally us just watching a movie.
It's super fun bonus content.
Yeah, it's like if you'd want to watch a movie with your friends, and that's a
smut movie. Like
you can listen to us literally scream about it. It is fun.
It's very chummy, very cute.
If you're like Brandon and you've watched it like 17 times, then truly it will feel very special to you.
Yeah, I think of so many movies where like I would eat up that kind of podcast.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Like, if people who I cared about were like recorded themselves watching it, I'm like, yes, I want to listen.
People watch reaction videos to music, so it's not much different.
It's a reaction video to smut.
Yes.
And so it's very fun. But we have lots of options. We have lots of things in the docket, y'all. We love dreaming up stuff for y'all.
Yeah.
We enjoy this so much.
Just stay tuned.
TBD.
Whatever.
We're wacky, zany, goofy little... Here's the thing. We have highly regimented, very structured real lives.
Sure.
Because we work full-time and, have lots of things and responsibilities. And so the podcast, we like to just feel it out.
Just whatever feels right.
Vibes. Just flying on vibes over here.
We have a bad track record of like announcing things that we're going to do and then not doing them. And so we're not going to do that anymore.
We're just going to leave it up to the imagination.
We're just going to, and y'all can see it in the either the TikTok that I release or so anyway, until next time, get you a man who will pull you out of a crevasse and then maybe explore yours.
Rescue. What? sangria's worn off.
I feel like Sabrina Carpenter, like that one's not gonna make it.
None of these are gonna make it. Bye.